So January transfer window has now closed. I thought it'd be quite a good idea if we talk about the best and worst
Yeah.
from the transfer window, because I definitely think some clubs have come out the January transfer window a lot stronger,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
and there's certain clubs which look significantly weaker.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to put it out there straight away. Obviously, being a Man United fan, I didn't have a very happy window at all.
You didn't do nothing.
No, we didn't do anything other than make our squad significantly weaker.
Yeah.
I mean, we've mentioned for like 18 months, United have needed a central defensive midfielder. McTominay and Fred then more box to box. We can see that when McTominay goes forward, he's very good.
Yeah.
Fred, he's not very good defensively. We needed somebody, and quite frankly, the board have let us down. Whether we were going to do anything before the Mason Greenwood things
That's the
come
problem.
out,
That's like, well, I think you were, because you were going to let Lingard go, weren't you?
yeah, and then that obviously stopped as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, on that as well, that's disappointing me because Ranić gave him his blessing to go,
Yeah.
and then it's the board say no, which tells me Ranić doesn't have a stand.
No. I mean, you've got a player there who's not very happy now, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the worst thing you can have in your camp.
Yeah, who we could have got 30 million for in
Yeah.
the summer is now leaving on
And
a
you've
free.
got a lot of bad press now.
So much bad press. So much bad press.
I know that's not Man United's fault, but it's really bad.
Yeah, and the fact, I think that the worst thing is, obviously we needed a CDM, we let Donny van de Beek go out. So that's another midfielder, which was cover, if anything. We've let so many players go out on loan. We even tried shipping out Phil Jones, even though defensively we've needed players. And with COVID, you never know. Like, COVID could come in 1 week and just wipe 3 or 4 players out.
Oh, yeah.
And you need these players.
Yeah.
So I definitely think, to begin with, one of the worst is Manchester United.
Followed by Arsenal, I think.
Followed by Arsenal. And they are very much in the same boat as Man United. I remember putting a tweet out saying, like, we can kind of come together and hug because we're in the same boat. Our board is... They need a striker desperately. They had Aubameyang leaving.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's now officially moved to Barcelona.
When he in Barcelona, no one knew about it?
Yeah.
Barcelona think, no, we ain't buying him.
Yeah.
But he's there.
And then it was, I'm visiting family.
Yeah, get on.
Yeah, it was. Do you remember Peter Odin-Wingy when he turned up and he was like, "So guys, I'm here," and it's like, "Yeah, we ain't signing you, Peter. It's not happening."
No,
Bless
same,
him.
wasn't
But I think Arsenal are very much in the same boat, aren't they? They need a striker. They tried getting Dusan Vlahovic. We knew that was their number one target, but I mean, I find it really hard to believe that these competent owners don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
Because Dusan Vlahovic, of course, made his permanent move to Juve using next year's budget, which is a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, right.
A lot of money as well, 70 million
A
euros.
lot of money.
But he could be worth it.
Yeah.
It's a good move for him because he's good in that league.
Yeah.
It would have been a risk moving to Arsenal and probably not any Champions League football either.
Oh, they won't be.
Arsenal, they've let a lot of players go as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's some teams in the league that hasn't done any signings at all. But like we were saying earlier, some of the teams didn't need to make any signings.
Exactly. Yeah. You look
Well,
Southampton.
they've got a budget to do it. You know?
Yeah. West Ham was another one where I think maybe they should have.
I think they should have done, really.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit more of a push because the last couple of weeks they're just sort of like losing a couple of silly games, didn't they? They just need something to change it.
If they really have ambitions for top 4, they should have made a signing, in my opinion, because they have an opportunity to. It's wide open.
Oh, yeah.
It's United, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham for that 4th spot.
Yeah, they're all after that 4th spot, aren't they?
And if none of these teams, I think, maybe your Spurs has done good. And they left it late.
Really late, wasn't it? That was last minute.
I mean,
we didn't get the striker we wanted to.
No.
He went to Liverpool.
No. Luis Diaz.
Good
which,
signing,
if we're talking about best again, Luis Diaz going to Liverpool is just Liverpool going, we've just made ourselves even worse against the other teams because, he looks incredible.
Well, Liverpool were after him, weren't they, originally? And I think because Spurs started sniffing around him, they just went out and got him quickly.
They were like, whoa.
Yeah, we didn't want to lose him. And
he's our boy.
Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed we didn't get that signing. But going back to Spurs, I think, and this is my opinion only, we've done the best by selling who we have.
Yes.
Who we've got out. Four good players sort of gone out. Well, not good player, in my opinion.
Ndombele leaving to Lyon, troublemaker. They weren't really getting on with Conte. Yeah. And then the big one, of course, Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, yeah. To me, that's... And I heard a lot of Spurs fans on TalkSport talking about it as well, and they were glad to see him go. He just wasn't doing the business.
Yeah.
You know, and how many chances do you give him?
Too many managers.
You say, well, he didn't get on with one manager, but he didn't get on with three managers, really.
No, that's
and
the
you
problem.
can't say they didn't give him a chance. I mean, when this manager we got now, he gave him a chance. He started him with every game, really. And listen to the couple of Spurs fans that had been to the games and that, they were saying the Liverpool game, which was, I think, was a brilliant game. We played really well that game.
Yeah,
he was outstanding.
Yeah.
He played outstanding. And I'll say, yeah, I'll take that off. He did play that. The next game, he was not even in the game.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, there's the Dele Alli back again.
Yeah, it's attitude problem, isn't it? Consistency and attitude
and that's
problems.
what they were saying. They just think his attitude just needs... He needs to change himself. I mean, I hope
Yeah.
the guy goes on and does something brilliant.
Honestly, he has the potential to be like a Gascoigne, a Rooney.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
England's best player.
Well, that's the thing, and he's an English player, so I want him to do well. I want him to be in the England squad
yeah,
again.
we've
his
seen glimpses of
attitude's
absolute
got to change.
brilliance
Yeah.
from him.
He's there, it's thereabouts, but
Yeah. But
needs to
getting rid
change.
of him for 40 million, I mean, it's
And
an
it was-
optional
it
future
was-
fee, isn't it?
It was a last minute deal as well, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And I was there at 11 o'clock thinking they missed out. They didn't get rid of him, and then 3 minutes past, he went to the training ground, Everton's training ground, and the deal done deal, and I'm like that. Yes,
So,
get in.
is it optional or is it a mandatory future fee?
I think it's at certain stages they're getting up to 40 million.
So is it a guaranteed transfer he's gone? Or is
Oh,
it
yeah, he's gone.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's good.
yeah,
okay.
he's an Everton player.
Yeah. Because I
with
know
a
it's
certain fee,
along with
and then
fees, isn't
and then
it?
it's certain stages, appearances.
Yeah.
Whether he gets back into the international squad, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. There's so many things behind the closed doors and all
Yeah.
that you don't find out about. But they were sending it up to 40 million, so it's usually things like that going on behind the doors. And
I mean, Frank Lampard's done quite well in regards to bringing in a few players right
Yeah.
at the end of the window.
I mean, I'm going to say as well. I think Everton's best signing is signing Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, to be fair.
It's the fans wanted it as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know?
They could have been, because they had a bit of like, I can't remember the other guy that they were trying to get in, but, fans made it abundantly clear they didn't want him.
So it was going to be Big Dunk
Yeah,
or Frank Lampard
yeah. And I think
or Wayne Rooney. But I think
Wayne Rooney, I think at the minute is on a I'm so into this role and I
Yeah.
want him to survive. And
Yeah.
hats off to him. I really hope Derby
Oh,
stay
I think
afloat,
that's-
and I really hope Rooney keeps
I think
him
that's
up.
Rooney stepped forward and said, "No, I'm staying here. I'm helping this team.
Yeah, got to
and I'm
commend him
enjoying
for
it."
that.
Yeah,
He
and
could have easily left a sinking ship.
Oh, and Everton wanted him.
Yeah,
He's a hero.
because
up
there's
there.
no even guarantees they're going to pay him
No, that's
when
right.
they're
Yeah.
in that much money
So
trouble.
you got to take your hat off to him and good on him for doing
Yeah.
it. Really.
But yeah, I think their
But I think that's
options were
Everton's best
limited.
signing.
So bringing in Lampard, yeah, fair enough. If he can do what like Gerrard's doing at Villa, then brilliant. And speaking of Villa, one of the best transfer windows so far.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue, isn't it?
Yeah,
Straight away,
definitely, yeah.
bang, Philip Coutinho.
Yeah. Straight in.
Straight
As
away,
soon as he got there.
scored and got on it. Well, was involved in against
Yeah.
for United. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great signing straight away. I mean, they had.
He knew what he was going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
And it's using his connections, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Oh, do you remember me?
Yeah.
Like Lucas Digne, another one, a great left back,
Yeah.
great Premier League left back. Kind of, I mean, he fell out, didn't he, with Rafa Benitez? So Villa was like, fine, we'll get rid of the player, and then they get rid of Benitez anyway.
Yeah.
It's very poor from Everton when you think of it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think personally, Villa, I would say second best transfer window
Yeah.
out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because we're only talking Premier League clubs here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go
Second
with that.
best.
Yeah.
I personally think Tottenham's up there, like third or fourth best.
I'm going to go with that, yeah.
Yeah, because Kulusevski comes in with a player who shone at Parma. He was the under-21 player of the year in the Serie A last season.
Yeah.
But because Allegri doesn't use him correctly in the system that he plays after coming in from Conte, no, not Conte, sorry, whoever was the manager before, it's like, well, he needs to move then.
Yeah.
It's not him, it's the system and the manager that he doesn't get on with. Conte's system, if he can transfer him into that right wing back / right midfielder, which bombs up and down, uses his energy and his pace and cuts in, he could be a class player in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Very good player. And then Bentancur, I have so much admiration for Bentancur. I wanted him to join United when he first moved to Juve. So I'm like kind of like, oh, I can't wait to see them play in the Premier League.
And we'll have Song back as well from injury as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He makes Spurs a different side as well, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, him and Kane together,
Yeah.
just that understanding, so that he's coming back. I understand he's in training again. He might be in contention for the next game,
Yeah.
so that's good.
So that's some big
That's
moves,
like
I
having a
think,
new
for
signing
Tottenham.
back, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
And it all happened on the last day.
Yeah.
Dele Alli out, 2 big signings in from Juve,
Yeah.
big moves.
I mean, not only that, it's getting rid of the players as well that are upsetting in the camp and all that, and it goes to show that the board have backed him really.
Yeah.
He's come forward and said, "I've given them the chances. They ain't performed. I don't want them.
Yeah.
Get them off the wage bill. This is who I want." He got 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
He missed the striker.
Yeah.
Almost had him. So he got 2 out of the 3 that he wanted. So yeah, I think we've done well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would still say number 1 is Newcastle.
It's got to be in it really.
I mean, they
think.
came in after the transfer window closed with saying we can now sign 200 million, which is a mistake.
Yeah.
Because everybody then goes, we'll
the
bump
fees,
the price
Yeah,
up.
the fees go up, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they still spent the most. They spent 93 million.
Yeah, which is just under half of what they said that they could spend, not that they would spend.
Yeah.
But do you think that they have done enough to survive? Because they are still in a bit of a battle. And I think the best bit of signing that everybody jokes about was Chris Wood. It's weakened their rivals for relegation. Arguably, it's a good thing to do.
You can look at it a couple of ways. You can look at it the way you've just said that weakens their rivals, but they were never going to buy superstars.
No.
They're not going to come to Newcastle.
No.
Yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Do you remember when Man City first got the money and they made stupid signings? Robinho,
Yeah.
for instance, never really worked out. But then they started making clever signings.
Yeah.
And then it started the Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero, when they signed him, wasn't a world-class player.
No.
He was a great player.
Yeah.
He wasn't a world-class player. He was on the up-and-coming players.
Thierry Henry for Arsenal.
Thierry Henry, exactly the same. When Arsenal first signed him.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they went out and was like, right, we're going for Mbappe.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Then that's a big mistake for
Yeah.
Newcastle.
You wouldn't fit into that side or nothing.
No, what they have managed to do is actually pretty clever.
Clever boys, yeah.
So
He's the clever boy. And players that will fight for the team.
Yes.
That's what he's got in as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you would. I mean, Kristen Muddy. You couldn't ask for a striker that's going to do you so much work up front, and
Yeah.
and you know what you're going to get out of him. He's
Yeah.
done it in the Premier League already, so you know what you're getting
for sure,
in that league, and that's half a battle. I find when new players come into teams, they know what they're getting.
Yeah, I mean Trippier, Premier League proven.
Yeah,
And if you're looking for somebody to put the ball on the top of Chris Wood's head, Trippier's your guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely,
you know that as a Spurs fan,
Yeah.
the amount of times he assisted Kane.
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes, I think, is one of the up-and-coming CDMs that Man United could have done with in the Premier League. Newcastle have a very weak midfield in regards to depth and like quality. He is that quality.
yeah.
The 2 defenders, Matt Targett, obviously he was Aston Villa's Player of the Year last year.
That's the one I don't understand. Villa getting rid of them.
No, but they bought Lucas Digne in.
Yeah. So you want to make your squad strong,
Yeah.
and him having in the squad, I would have thought it made strong.
Yeah.
So whether something's happened with Gerrard, you don't know, do you?
Yeah. Whether he doesn't get on with him,
Yeah.
But I mean, signing him, it is a positive, I guess. Dan Burn, I think, was a 3rd or 4th option because they couldn't get Diego Carlos and they couldn't get the Sven Botman from Lille.
Yeah.
So those are 2, but the difference is they didn't do what Arsenal did and go, oh, we couldn't get Dusan, never mind.
Yeah.
They went, okay, we couldn't get our first choice. We'll try our second choice, Diego Carlos
Yeah.
from Sevilla. Couldn't get him. All right, let's see who's available that we can get. Dan Burn, Premier League proven. Let's go for him.
Like I said, you don't know what they're getting.
Yeah.
Already doing it in that league.
So at the end of the day, we've covered it quite well there, but I do think the worst are the ones that didn't do something when they should have.
Yeah.
United and Arsenal, possibly West Ham chucked into that.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Everton would be classed as the worst, because they have replaced. Although Dele Alli is a replacement.
Thing with Everton as well, they only got Frank Lampard in the same day.
Yes, yeah, very
So
late.
they've done what they can for him.
Yeah,
Obviously in the interview he turned around and said, "If you're going," because we all knew that he wanted Dele Alli.
yeah.
We all knew that. So
He's
that was
going to be his
his
Mason Mount.
Yeah, that's going to be his main signing. That's job done in.
Yeah,
The rest of them, could have been, he might have been, do you want him, and it might have been a case of who he could quickly get
yes.
to strengthen his squad.
Yeah,
He must be happy with what he's got.
yeah.
And it looks good on paper, but it's whether they fit in then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And he had to replace a couple of players. So
Yeah, for sure.
So
And
I wouldn't say it's a bad
No.
because of how short a time Frank Lampard had to work.
I agree. And I think getting rid of Rafa in itself was a good decision for Everton, even though, we don't class it as a transfer. It's a transfer of managers. It's a good decision. But I think if you're looking at the best, I think you've got to look at... Man City's the same. They strengthened bringing in that Julian Alvarez, one of the best up-and-coming youngsters from South America. But you're looking at Luis Diaz for Liverpool. It's a fantastic signing for Liverpool. 100%. Just makes them even more dangerous and scary to play against.
Yeah.
If you're missing Salah or Mane, you got him.
The thing I'd say about that, though, who's going? Because they're out of contracts. The two players that you just mentioned then, Salah and Mane, are out of contract, I think, at the end of the season.
Not the end of this season, it's the season after,
I
think.
It? Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So they've got 18 months.
Are they? Do they think at the back of their heads that they might lose one of them?
Yeah, it could be Mane.
Yeah, that's
could
the
be
rumour,
Mane,
isn't it?
because this season he hasn't played that well.
That's the rumour, I think.
But then at the same time, Liverpool are very much... they've done smart transfers for the last 6 or 7 years since Klopp's been there. And it's more of a case of... bringing these players in, because they tried with Minamino, it didn't quite work. I think Minamino isn't up to the calibre that they need. Luis Diaz, I think, is. It's all about strength and depth now, isn't it? Everybody always says Liverpool have a great first 11, but when you look past the first 14, 15 players, that's when they could look a bit weak, whereas Man City have 2 11s. And it doesn't matter who they play, they're winning the game.
The thing is with Liverpool as well, over the last, I would say, 3 or 4 years, they don't buy 4 or 5 players. They spend a lot of money on one player.
Yes, yeah.
And what difference they make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Virgil van Dijk, when they brought him in.
Yeah.
They went from being an average defending side to the best defensive side in the league.
And low-key bringing in Joe Matip.
Yeah.
Was just exactly the same effect. Those two together have been fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool and Tottenham are around about the 4th and 3rd best transfer window, in my opinion. And then you look at Villa, 2nd, Newcastle, 1st, in my opinion.
But then Wolves haven't done bad.
Wolves, low-key, one of the best.
Low-key. And they brought these little players in, didn't they?
Yeah. And getting rid of Adama Traore for 30 million, everyone goes, why are you getting rid of Adama? He's got 1 Premier League goal.
I was listening to TalkSport, and they were the Wolves fan on there, and he I don't care.
Yeah.
What did he do for us? He comes
He's
on.
been off the bench last.
He comes on off the bench. He does a couple of runs at that. Then gets an odd good ball over.
Yeah.
Not everyone, and that was his weakness was his
final ball.
Final ball.
Yeah.
He could do all the damage going through, but that final ball, if it's not good enough, you must have just lost the ball back there.
And I have so much admiration for their manager right now.
Yeah.
What a manager he's becoming already. To come into the Premier League and play the way he's playing, get his team playing where they ain't conceding hardly anything.
No.
They're so strong at the
They're
back.
consistent as well over the last few years. I think they've been in the Premier League for 4 years now, 5 years. And they had a bad season last season, but apart from that, they were doing
They've been
well.
up there.
Yeah.
They've
done well.
They've brought in some
I think it's 5 signings.
One of them, Young Sang Bin. Football Manager fans love that one because he's fantastic. They've loaned him back out, but still, that's a decent signing. But that Chiquinho from Portugal, £3 million. Now, if he is the same output as Adama Traore, for £3 million, you've just 10 times the money that mental.
Yeah, definitely.
So I agree. That is low key one of the best as well. But I think Newcastle for me tips it. I think they have a job to do under Eddie Howe to survive, and they're giving themselves a bloody good go.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I hope they do. I hope they make it. I hope they survive.
Although it would be hilarious to see all that money in the Championship. I do want to see them in the Premier League.
But there is one team that I think has done the best deal, and it's a Swapshire pub have signed Roberto Carlos for 1 game.
I've seen that. A Sunday League Club,
Sunday League. Bull in the Bush, I think they're called. For £5 raffle. They've got him for 1 game. Now, to me, for £5, it's got to be the best deal.
Value for money, World Cup winner.
Yeah.
Roberto Carlos.
Can you imagine turning up after a Saturday night?
Yeah.
And you turn up at the pitch and you walk on the pitch and you're thinking,
that's Roberto Carlos.
I love Roberto Carlos. And then it is, isn't it? And he takes a free kick from it and he puts it in the top corner.
Yeah.
Because I was listening on TalkSport and they were all saying about they've got the manager on actually of the pub, and he said, "What are you going to do if you get if you got a free kick outside the box?" He said, "Well, you're going to let him have it, ain't you?"
Who's going to go? Sorry, mate. I'm free kick taker here.
But I reckon that's the best deal that I've heard of for the
easily value for money. Unbelievable.
Brilliant
Good stuff.